Hi, let's talk about the past simple tense. We'll start with the verb to be. In the present, we have I am, he, she, or it is, you, we, or they are. But in the past, we only have two verbs to remember. I was, he, she, it was, you, we, they were. The negative would be I wasn't, which is short for I was not. He, she, or it wasn't. And you, we, they weren't, short for were not. For example, I was happy. I wasn't sad. He was late. He wasn't early. They were doctors. They weren't nurses. To make the question, we change the order of the subject and the verb. The verb comes first. For example, was I in a good mood? So verb first, then subject. Was he on time? Were they firefighters? So that's the verb to be. All other verbs are different. We'll start with regular verbs. They end in ed, but irregular verbs have different endings or forms. There's a lot of irregular verbs in English, unfortunately, and you just have to learn them. So we'll focus on the regular verbs. The same form is used for all past simple verbs except the verb to be. In the singular and the plural. So it's the same whether it's I, he, we, they, it's the same verb for all of them. I watched TV last night. I saw the Queen on TV. Watched is a regular verb ending in ed. Saw is an irregular verb. It is the past simple of the verb see. To make the sentence negative, we use didn't. She didn't watch the news. She didn't see the weather. So we use didn't with the infinitive. Didn't watch, didn't see. We don't say didn't watched or didn't saw. This is a common mistake, but because didn't is already in the past, it is the past of do, we don't need to use the past of the main verb, watch or see. To make the question, did they watch a football match? Did they see the end? Did is the question word, the past of do. It comes first, then the subject, then the infinitive. Looking at the spelling rules now for regular verbs. Normally, the regular verb ends in ed. We just add ed to the end of a verb. But if the verb already ends in e, we just add d to the end. The regular verb ends in a consonant and a y. We take off the y and add ied. For example, study becomes studied, ied, no y. But if the verb ends in a vowel plus y, we just add ed, like play becomes played, not plaid, just play with ed on the end. So a vowel, just to remind you, is A, E, I, O, U. Consonant, all the other sounds, B, C, D, F, G, and so on. Now let's look at the pronunciation of regular verbs. These are the three sounds that a regular verb can end in: id, t, or d. If the verb ends in a t or d, like want or need, when we add the ed to make it in the past, the sound we add is id. Wanted, needed. If the verb ends in a p, f, sh, s, ch, or k sound, we pronounce the ed at the end as t. For example, washed, kicked, washed, kicked. Verbs that end in any other sound have a d ending. Played, cleaned. I hope you can hear the difference. A little bit of practice now. Look at these sentences. Can you write them in the past? For example, to talk about yesterday. Pause here for a moment and think about it, and then play to check your answers. So, I want to go to the park becomes I wanted to go to the park yesterday. Didn't watch TV yesterday evening. You liked the film yesterday? Right, yes. So notice you and she doesn't matter. Did is the same for both of them. They don't listen to the teacher. They didn't listen to the teacher yesterday. So again, he didn't watch, they didn't listen. It's the same form. Doesn't matter if it's he or they. I hope that helped you. Thank you for watching.